up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you guys couldn't tell, we're going to be replacing my water pump on my Chevy truck. And yeah, recently I've been having some overheating issues, and so I've replaced a few parts on it as far as like the coolant system side goes, and then the thermostat on it. And I haven't checked any sensors like that. Probably should, but we had this on hand, so we're going to go ahead and put it on and see if that helps any of the overheating problem that I'm having right now. So we'll pull the old one off. When we get the old one off, I'll show you guys it and kind of compare the two, and then we'll put this one on. And like I said, hopefully it makes a difference in that overheating problem. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on taking this thing off, or taking that old one off and getting this new one on. See you guys. These are the parts that I got. That's the water pump right there. So first I'm going to start off by taking the intake off, and that way I can get down to the belt and get it taken off. And so I'm going to start by doing that, and yeah, let's do that real quick. But I'm going to start by taking this off. I went ahead and put gloves on because I'm bad about not wearing gloves, and it comes back to bite me in the butt all the time. So here we go, and I'll show you guys the inside real quick, but we're going to start off taking that off, make it easier for us to get in here now, have some mobility. I'll point out, when I'm editing this, I'll point out the water pump and all the hoses. But yeah, that's the space we're going to be working in, and let's keep going. So I think I'm going to start by taking off this hose here. And this one's pretty easy. Just break it loose. There we are. We'll just put that on the side as well. And now we'll get this belt off. I believe it's a 15 millimeter socket that you can use to get this belt off, to release this tensioner right here. You'll just put your socket on it and pull it up, and it'll loosen the belt, and you can get the belt off. So I'm gonna go grab one of those and be right back. Ooh. Let's get this belt off. There you are. And if you're using this as kind of like a tutorial video, I appreciate it. Do it at your own risk. I'll put the model for how to put this belt back on at the end of the video, or when I'm putting it back on, I'll put a diagram on there for you guys if you want to know how to put it back on. But I'm gonna go put that in the garage, keep it safe. There's another belt that we gotta grab. I'll put a snapshot of that clip I put in here to show you what belt I'm talking about. And I gotta go under the truck for that one, and I'll take you guys real quick under there and show you. So let's go get that belt off real quick. This is the belt I'm talking about. You can see it kind of running around right there. So right here is another tensioner. So I'm just gonna try and jimmy it off with my hands. Just be careful. There we go. Guess that wasn't as hard as I made it sound. But here's that belt, and I'm gonna get this one and that other one and go put it in the garage, keep them safe, because we're gonna reuse them. So let's go. All right, so now I'm gonna take the hoses off the water pump, get them disconnected, and then we'll take the water pump off. So here is where you're gonna want to make sure you have extra coolant, because once you do this, you're gonna lose pretty much all the coolant that's in your system. Anyway, yeah, let's get those hoses off, and we'll continue. All right, so I'm gonna be taking off those hoses down there, and that one there. That's thermostat right there. We're gonna take that hose off, and that hose, and there's two more kind of behind them, and then we'll take the pump off. So let's get those off real quick. Hopefully that'll stay there. And then you've got 2 more. You got this one and this one that you're going to take off. And then there's there's 3 bolts we're going to take off on this side, 3 on that side, and then we're going to have to take this tensioner off because it's also connected to the water pump. So let's keep going with those. Let's get those hoses off, and then we'll get that pump going, or we'll get that tensioner and then the pump. And there goes all my coolant. You know what? I'm gonna go grab the water hose real quick and kind of just clean up under the truck, dilute that a little bit just in case. Alright, so I just took off those hoses and diluted the ground a little bit. Still got another hose to take off, and hopefully that one won't leak as much. Probably will, but we'll see. And then, like I said, we'll get this off, and then we'll get the pump off, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, there's the tensioner. Set that to the side. See if that stays there. Alright, so you're gonna have three bolts on this side and 3 bolts on the right side, and then this thing should just come right off. Alright guys, so just finished taking off the old one, about to put the new one on, and basically just reverse all the steps backwards the way that we took this one off. We're going to put this one on, connect everything up, and put the belts back on, and yeah, so just reverse everything we did to take this one off. So anyway, let's go ahead and start getting this one put on. So if you are watching this as a tutorial, here's a little tip. Get your gaskets. Can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all can. All right. Get your gaskets, and when you're putting it in, put your bolts in already, and make it a lot easier for you to get this back in. Alright, here we go. Set it back down. Alright guys, so here I start off by putting the pump on. Make sure it gets mounted to the engine block nice and secure. Then I move on to a couple of the hose here on the side of the pump, getting those nice and snug on there, get the clamps tight. And then I move on to the small belt that's under the truck. Use that tensioner to help me get it on there. You want to make sure this belt's snug on there and in the correct spot on that crankshaft. And then I move to the upper belt and get that put on there. Again, use that tensioner, make sure it's snug on there. Here is a diagram of how the belt's supposed to go on. Use that, and then you should be good to go for the belt. And then after I put this belt on, I end up moving to or double checking some of the hose that I put on there already, checking the clamps, double checking them, making sure they're good and nice and snug. You don't want any leaks. And then I'll move on to the hose that's on the radiator that goes into the top of the pump, and then finish off by reattaching the intake that I took off. And so anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed to this point. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to stay to the end, because in a minute I'm going to be adding coolant, and I probably shouldn't add it in just yet because I ended up having to take some out, and it'll make sense here in a little bit. But anyway, let's continue with the video. Thanks guys. Refilling the coolant. She's empty, so I've got 2 bottles just in case, and we'll see how she does. Checking the belt right now. Make sure everything's good, spinning all right. I don't see any leaks. Looks good. Oh, I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas, get that coolant running through it, get the engine warmed up, and we'll see when she's all warmed up if she stays cool or if she gets hot.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
As you guys saw, I'm not entirely sure that the overheating problem was this the motor pump. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to manually fill the radiator with some coolant. As I was getting ready to prepare this clip or record this clip, I started thinking about there could be air in the coolant system, and that's no bueno. So we'll take off a hose, fill the radiator manually, and then we'll fill the engine manually. That way we're not just filling up the reservoir, and if there's air in there, then that's not gonna, you know, in the end pressure, there's that the coolant that's in the overflow reservoir is not gonna go into the engine. So we're gonna do that stuff manually, and I'm gonna take you guys with me to do that real quick. And so yeah, so that way if y'all kind of experience the same thing, check, make sure there's no air in your system. So I should have done that way before, but here we are. Big brain, sometimes, you know, it's not in there. So anyway, let's go do that real quick, and yeah. Let's take it for a spin around the block again, and hopefully she stays cool. We're gonna do the same thing. Just go around the block. Wow, she's staying pretty cool. It's just finished this whole project, and as you saw, she's not overheating no more, and that was only due to the fact that I filled up the coolant and the radiator and the engine manually, and so all those parts I changed on the truck, funny enough, probably didn't need them, but got new ones on there now, so should last a lot longer than what this would have. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, if you plan on doing this kind of stuff, do it at your own risk. I'm not a mechanic or anything like that, not professional, so I just do this stuff for fun. Love to do it, and so yeah. If you're having overheating problems, just check your coolant system. Make sure there's no air in it. Make sure it's full, and start from there. So that's all she wrote for today's video. We'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe if you've not already done so. And yeah, that's all she wrote, guys. Peace out.